Hey everyone, Tim Ballard here, founder of Operation Underground Railroad. Super excited to talk about a case we did 7 years ago. In 2014, our first real functional year. Many of you know those first foundational stories, operations in Haiti, in Colombia, but there was another case, the third operation, that happened in August of 2014 in the island nation of Dominican Republic. And our team has put together a blog post to kind of recount that story. It's an important one for many reasons. In some ways, it kind of set the precedent for how we would work in the future, how we would collaborate with other organizations, government entities, and it turned out to be really one of the most successful cases we worked, especially early on. So let me tell you what happened. We were invited down to the country by the Dominican officials to work certain leads that were actually initially provided by another nonprofit NGO called Breaking Chains. So we went down there, followed up with some of these leads, and sure enough found these children who were being trafficked. It was just amazing. The collaborative effort. International Justice Mission, which handled all the aftercare, also Breaking Chains, also O.U.R, also the Anti-Trafficking Unit of Dominican Republic, Homeland Security investigations out of the U.S. Embassy, which also did a report on this case, stated this case, and in many places ran point on this particular operation, and CONACY, which is the child welfare entity of the Dominican government. A massively collaborative effort, and on the final day, 7 traffickers showed up selling children as young as 14 years old. How many of you know a 14-year-old? Daughter, granddaughter, niece, nephew, student, friend. 14 years old is a baby. Imagine if that child that you can think of was being sold by adult men to other adult men who they believed were sex tourists. The traffickers brought 26 people. Some were adults, and we can't control who they bring to the party because they control these people, but we focused in on the 13 minors, the 13 children who were being controlled by these traffickers and brought into this situation, which was a mock party scene to induce the traffickers to bring those children so that the Dominicans could rescue them and arrest the traffickers. In the aftermath, those children were taken in by International Justice Mission and for at least 3 years given continuous and continual help, from education to therapy to basic needs, occupational training. By the way, these are all things that our aftercare department has given in abundance to Dominican Republic in the years following, and in many other countries as well, as our aftercare department has grown and become really world-class. And IJM is certainly world-class, and they did an amazing job. And believe it or not, all 7 traffickers were convicted. That's a very big deal. Why? Because that's 7 people who were selling children who no longer can do that because they're in jail. 2 of them got 10 years, which is the max sentence you can get for that kind of crime in the Dominican Republic. But the point is they all got convicted, which means what? It was an exceptionally effective case. Legal, lawful, following the rules, and most importantly, those 13 were given the aftercare that they needed, and beyond that, how many children will not be hurt? One of these children was a girl named Luciana, and IJM reported, and we'll provide the link of their post about this story, talked about how because the aftercare services were on the ground that day and immediately provided comfort and care, and most importantly, hope, that she would escape this, and she did. And she was given the opportunity and the tools that she needed to then become beyond a survivor, but a thriver. Just this one little girl to think where she is today because of this operation. That's how important this was. It set a precedent for us to understand the power of collaborating with multiple entities and multiple organizations, a practice that we continue this day, including in the Dominican Republic. Very recently, the colonel of the entire anti-trafficking unit for the entire country of the Dominican Republic, her name is Colonel Francia Perez, an amazing woman, a good friend of mine in our team. We work very closely with her. She said this. She said that, quote, "During the last 7 years, O.U.R has done very important and valuable work to rescue sexually exploited boys, girls, and adolescents in our country. O.U.R has always worked in accordance with our laws and by invitation from us. O.U.R has never once acted as a vigilante group. We hope to be able to continue our important work with Operation Underground Railroad, end quote. So you can read all about this initial operation from August 2014 in the blog post. Click here to read more about it. We have source notes on there, original documentation to show you exactly what happened, court documents, etc. This is the truth of what happened in August 2014 in the Dominican Republic.